counter in every dip if they're willing to take the risk, including, by the way, this one. I actually am encouraging you to pick one or two speculative names, that's all, and own them. Have no illusions. If they don't work, you'll be up speculation creek without a paddle, which is why I don't want to own 5 or 6 of these. Then why am I even countenancing this kind of activity? Well, because when it works spectacularly. Take Amazon, hard to believe now, but for years I heard that Amazon was ridiculously overvalued, endlessly. I was willing to go long it after spending some time with them, publicizing Confessions of a Street Addict in 2002. I saw that they could easily wipe out the bookstore industry, maybe even the rest of retail, but I recognized it was speculative. If you had conviction, it made you a fortune. Netflix and Tesla is no different. They looked incredibly expensive the whole time. At certain moments, you had to spend any sort of sense of rigor or prudence to own the stocks, and you had to hold on for dear life on days like yesterday and today. Most investors I know can't do it, or they do it in options, and now they're done, they have nothing left. Yet there are some amazing opportunities all over the place. If you're patient, take Carvana, which reported last night, saw its stock plunge 12% today in response. At no point could the stock be justified on the basis of any metric, earnings, sales, rule of 40, nothing. But when I used it to buy a new car, which we didn't like when we got it, they took it back. They said nothing. I was sold. Carvana was in single digits back then without a good balance sheet. It took a restructuring and infusion of capital to turn things around. But last night, the company reported a quarter that many thought was weak enough to sell. I disagree. And even after this decline, it settled at $247 and change. Nice run from the single digits of years past. How about Cava Group, the restaurant chain that may be the next big thing because it sells fresh, healthy Mediterranean food for a reasonable price? Of course, the stock trades at 191 times earnings. Who can possibly justify that? Only a person who believes that Cava could be the next Chipotle, one of the greatest performers of all time. You put $1,000 worth of Chipotle went into Chipotle when it came public, $120,000 now. How about Apple? Here's a company that links mobile game advertising with players. It was the best performer in the NASDAQ 100 last year, up over 700% for the year. It looked like the most expensive stock in the universe. But then when we saw the quarter not that long ago, it turned out that button was making a fortune. It now sells for just 68 times earnings. Sure, that's a lot, but it's much cheaper than it used to be. You have to stick with it through days like today when it closed down. Most cannot do that because they own 5 or 6 or 10 of these kinds of stocks. And those people were obliterated, and they don't know what to do other than turn off the TV, stop investing, and there you go. Now,